Is Australia Zoo on the Sunshine Coast worth visiting? I think the answer lies in the hands of the individual or the group travelling there and your expectations. But in today's video, I would like to explain my thoughts and hopefully answer all your questions so you'll know if it suits you. This includes the animals you'll see, the different areas of the park, the cost, service, food and dining available. First up, I'd like to say that I've visited Australia Zoo multiple times over the years and definitely seen some changes in that time. I would like to think that if you're a fan of the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, or his kids, for their passion for animal conservation, or like looking at wildlife from around the world, then you're going to like visiting. While I am the type of person who likes seeing wildlife actually in the wild, facilities like this bring it closer to people with limited time or options. Would I go back again? Yes, but it might be a few years between visits to see the newer additions to the park. You will definitely need a whole day to see Australia Zoo. My best recommendation is to arrive at opening time, wear comfortable walking shoes, and ensure you plan your day before you get there so you can make the most of your time. The park is absolutely massive, and personally I found it hard to see every single show and animal exhibit all in the one day. So you might have to round it down to what's most important to you to see, and everything else in between is an added bonus. General entry for an adult is $72 and a child is $47, and there are concession, pensioners and family discounts. But when a family of 4 is $218, it's already a highly expensive day, and that doesn't include the food, souvenirs or any personal animal encounters. Do I think the price is worth what you'll see at Australia Zoo? Well, I'm somewhat leaning towards the yes side, but I do have reasons of why it wouldn't. Surprisingly, there are 3 other wildlife parks in southeast Queensland that are all smaller in size and cheaper to visit. This means if you're looking to see a specific animal, you might find it available at another park. However, Australia Zoo holds the monopoly on different animal encounters and houses the biggest variety of species from around the world. So if that's what you're after, then the price is probably worth it. Just know the annual pass is slightly cheaper than 2-day passes, so if you have more days up your sleeve, it could be worth looking at. Otherwise, I'll link the other parks in the description below for you to compare. Australia Zoo is home to over 1,200 animals, including native Australian species such as the koalas, kangaroos, wombats, and the Tasmanian devils. But what sets it apart is its collection of exotic animals from around the world. There are just way too many animal exhibits to mention all of them right here. I guess some of the biggest ones would be the elephants, tigers, giraffes, snakes and lizards, and obviously the many different crocodile enclosures. We did happen to witness a tiger snake shedding its skin, which took well over 30 minutes to finish. While I've seen plenty of skins around over the years, I don't think I've ever actually seen one shedding in person, and it made it worth the visit. Apart from that, I really enjoy the cute lemurs, which are always so very playful with their antics. Plus, the meerkats are always fun to watch for some time. You can feed the kangaroos, but unless you're there first thing in the morning, I find they really aren't that interested. There are more than 15 different animal encounters you can complete for an extra charge. Some to mention are the red pandas, meerkats, dingoes, otters, and the giraffes. These range in price from about $30 to $150 on top of the general entry price. Be aware that the cheaper ones are more about getting a photo with the animal than the higher price ones being more about interacting. Some animals have age and mobility restrictions, so it's best to read the details first on their website before booking. Just know that between checking in for your allotted time, finding out the do's and don'ts and the rules for being in the enclosure, plus the experience, it will take a considerable chunk of time out of your day from seeing anything else. Not only that, but there are only a few people that'll be allowed to do it each day. So if it's high on your list, then I recommend booking early, especially if you're visiting in school holidays. The biggest show you'll want to attend is the Crocoseum for the Australia Zoo Wildlife Warriors Show. This happens at 1:15 p.m. every day, and you'll find almost the entire park is there for the crocodile show. Also note that during special events or school holidays, this is when you're most likely to see any of the Irwins here. This actually starts out as a free flight bird show and moves into the saltwater crocodile display. While it is the highlighted event, I find there's a little too much emphasis on the birds than on the crocodiles that everyone's there to see. Apart from that, there's scheduled talks and live events throughout the park, including the tiger show, reptiles, and the tortoise. We managed to see the birds of prey display in the afternoon, which is an added benefit of learning without reading the displays. Most of the staff and service areas were great. The ones presenting at the live animal demonstrations were passionate about animal conservation and education. Plus, I found most of the enclosures were well maintained and bathroom facilities available all around the park. There is one main dining area and a couple of cafes around the park where you can grab some drinks and snacks. The main Crikey Cafe area had plenty of room and food choices to pick from. This includes burgers, pizzas, hot chips, sandwiches, sushi, and salads. I wouldn't say it's the cheapest, but it's probably comparable to other parks in the area. Although, feel free to bring your own if you're not too sure. There are both pros and cons to visiting the zoo in the rain. With the pros being less people around, so it's more peaceful and easier to move around the park. And some animals are also known to be more active during the rain or cooler weather, so you might get a closer look at them. Cons would be that the shows and animal encounters may be cancelled due to safety reasons. Walking paths would be slippery. And since most of the park is outdoors, you will need an umbrella or a poncho. I find the entire park is accessible for almost everyone with ramps and wide pathways, but I think the size of the park does have some people as a disadvantage or an increased cost to get around. Walking from one side of the park to the other took at least 20 minutes for us, so doing this back and forth to see the specific shows can eat into your time. I did see a shuttle service running from the entrance to the African exhibit, but it runs every 15 to 30 minutes and can get busy, depending on how many of them are running. Therefore, it might save you sore feet, but wait times could add up and you'll see less animals. Alternatively, you can also hire a wheelchair for $35 a day or a motorised scooter for $70 a day. They also have prams and carts for the families with kids. In the end, I do think it's worth visiting Australia Zoo at least once in your lifetime. But if you want to check out other activities in the area, then please click here for my video on the day trips from the Sunshine Coast. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you for the next one.